Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ. Been pretty much doing all these interviews at home lately. We're talking with Kobra Paige. Kobra, we were chatting a little bit. I played you back, Kobra and the Lotus, back in 2019 with Burn. You're doing solo stuff now, so it's your first song in a while. But before diving all that, how you doing today?
The first interview for this album, so thank you for being the person that's doing that.
Really?
Yeah,
First one.
first
Awesome.
one, number one.
Awesome. Well, I'm honored to do this. Again, artist spotlight feature. It's a song that we're getting. Love What I Hate on here on Monday, 8:30 in the morning, 7:30 for you. You're just a little bit behind us in time. I know it's been a while since you've had some music out there. I know obviously Cobra and the Lotus, you guys had the single Burn. I guess had an album release around that time. Obviously, you and I had chatted over 4 years ago. It's been a long time since then. A lot has happened. We've had everything. The
Yeah,
music industry gets shut down. You've had some really awesome moments in your personal life. I know you got married, which is great. So, kind of, how has
thank
this
you.
last 4 years been for you?
Yeah,
I don't.
thank you. I mean, like you said, it's been a lot. A lot has happened for the whole world and continues to happen. That was a really wild time. I feel like we just went into a wormhole and came out the other side, you know? um, I mean, the last several years have been interesting for me. I'd say they've been great and also some of my toughest years. I had a really hard battle with depression over the last couple of years, like probably a few people, but it got pretty serious. So I had to seek a lot of help. Um, but I've come out the other side. I've actually had this album done for over a year, but I was in no capable condition last year. So I'm really just super happy to be here in this moment in time where I'm productive again. I'm like back out just doing things, putting the music out because I started writing this music in 2018. Like I've been
Okay.
trying to release another project for a long time.
And I think I can't remember if we had touched on that last time we talked, but I remember just following Cobra and the Lotus on social media and following your stuff on socials. And I know the solo project was something again you've been talking about
Yeah.
for years. Again, Love What I Hate's the single out from you right now. Is this your first solo song ever before we dive in anymore?
Yeah, this is the first
Awesome.
solo song ever. And it was one
Awesome.
of two that were written in that first grouping of like songwriting for the album in 2018. So it's actually like this song's been waiting for a long time to see the light of day.
It's interesting. Last couple interviews I've had, people have had some material for a while. One of the bands I interviewed last week, Lines of Loyalty, their new single that's out right now called My Addiction. Their lead singer was like, I started working on the song 10 years ago. And he's like, it's
Wow.
just now seeing the light of day. And I always like to ask when people have just, this long time from getting a song out there. Obviously, it's not like you finish every single song in 2 weeks and bam, here it's ready to go, everybody. But like the feelings,
Yeah.
the excitement, kind of how is there a perfect word to kind of for you to share out there to be like after 5 years, the song is finally here and people are finally hearing it. So just I guess the overall feelings of having a song for that long and it's here.
I feel like it's the heart on fire emoji.
Okay.
I feel, I feel like really lit up from the inside out. It feels also it feels really freeing because I
Okay.
also feel like there's parts of myself like creatively just as an artist that I haven't expressed yet, you
Mhm.
know, and now I get to share those other pieces without like poisoning the well of another project, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you want people to know about the song? Again, it's one we're getting on the artist spotlights on Monday. Again, 8:30 for us here, 7:30 for you out there. So what do you want people to know about this song? Whether it's the journey of it, the meaning behind it. What would you like our listeners to know about this track?
Sure, absolutely. Well, for starters, I think that what my favorite thing about the sound of the song is it's a nostalgic throwback to some of the
Mhm.
grunge rock we were hearing in the 90s. This was definitely influenced and a little bit tributed towards Chris Cornell's sound with
Awesome.
Soundgarden. And yeah, I was writing about feeling like the feeling of not being enough and then just the complete spiral that can come from that and you get stuck in those thoughts and
Mhm.
start to dissect things that are such a waste of energy, things that don't matter. You'll never, because everyone's in their own reality, dissecting why you weren't enough for someone else in some situation is, it's a very human thing to do, but it's also completely torturous and toxic to yourself. So I was experiencing that at that time. And I've experienced it again and again, like everyone, like, you're hard on yourself. So I just really put it into raw words, and I tried to put the emotions in there. I feel like when you hear the song, like, it's going to be different in some ways than you hear me sing, just because there's some power put behind the choruses, but otherwise it's like, it's a little numbed out. It's a little confused sounding. It's like, it's about that feeling journey. So.
And again, it's different from Kobra and the Lotus, which I know, again, you said a solo project, it's your chance to kind of expand out and dive into some more stuff. So I think that's what I've enjoyed hearing about it was, okay, cool. As much as I, enjoyed listening to Kobra and the Lotus, it's a different sound from you. It's like, okay, we get to see a different side of her as an artist. The music video, I don't believe is out yet. I did a YouTube search this morning and nothing came up for me. So I know you've got a music video you're working on. There's a new album you're working on. So there's a lot of cool stuff on the way for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this song has just like a performance clip, and I haven't released the full thing of it, but it just goes all the way up until the end of the second chorus. And otherwise, it's just like we're calling it a lyric visualizer, because not all the lyrics are in there. So this song didn't have a video, but I've tried to put some visuals to it for people. So especially the performance thing, I actually did that 2 weeks ago, or right before the song was released, because I wanted people to make an even better connection with the amount of emotion that really was behind it. And the next song, though, that's coming out in November, that has a really epic video that I was so excited to creatively direct with people and create in London in April, actually, this past April.
Awesome. Now, everybody's, again, it seems like before COVID, or even before COVID, people started to kind of focus on singles a little bit more. Some people still doing EPs, still doing albums. Do you have a full-length record on the way for the solo project, or kind of what's that look like?
Yeah, so it is a full-length record, and It's been in the can since 2021 in December. Yeah, it's, what? Like, honestly, it's all coming down to how much the industry has changed. And because this album is not heavy per se, it's and it mashes a lot of different forms of rock. Like, as you'll see, is that one thing is not like the other, literally. Like the next song, no one can tell from this song what the next one's going to be like. And it's going to be that kind of journey. It's pretty colorful rock box.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so I've just been hatching a strategy with a team that has come together to do this independent release. And because the industry's changed a lot with just how people are consuming music, I'm like, man, it puts my head in like a fishbowl, like daily, just trying to surrender also to the way things are. I'm being very stubborn around it, but it's a very single driven world. So we're doing, I think, four singles. 2 of them have videos. No, 3 of them have videos, because I just got a grant, which I haven't said anything about. I got it. That was a really big surprise that came a month ago. So I get to do a 3rd one. And then, the album is coming out April 5th of next year. So that has enough like time to give all the pieces room to breathe. Yeah.
And it's something that I think a lot of bands, it's cool to hear in your voice kind of the struggle, and you can tell that you're battling with it, because I still love buying full-length records. I still love buying a full CD, because I like again, it's cool, like that thing with radio. Obviously, we get fed the singles, and it's cool to hear the singles, but not every person's favorite song is a single. Sometimes it's those deep cuts. Absolutely. I asked the question to our audience, our listeners the other day, like, when you go to a show, do you like the deep cuts? Do you like hearing the hits? Or do you want a combo of both? And some people were like, man, I just like hearing deep cuts. So I think it's one of the cool things about records is, again, there's so much out there for people, and you can find your own songs that maybe isn't a single.
Yes.
Which is wonderful. Do you like, though, the fact that you said you just got a grant for a 3rd video, are you at least enjoying the fact where it's like, hey, I've got these singles and I can give them a lot of attention and kind of love? Are you at least enjoying that part of the journey of it?
I am, absolutely, just because they have really important messages for me. Like I am trying to say something with a lot of the
Mhm.
songs. And I was telling actually my husband the other day, something that is I'm grappling with is the heavy weightedness like on consumption through social media channels right now and TikTok,
Mhm.
because I don't create content like a machine. But that's how people are finding new music. It's like algorithms prevent you from getting even a post that you're releasing something. I had this problem with Cobra and the Lotus too, more and more as it went on in time forward, but it was already developing
Yeah.
with part of the past, you know. But I like to make I've always liked to make a body of work with like all my resources, time, energy, money, make this to the best of my abilities what I'm proud of with people, and then put it out like it's an art exhibition, you know, and
Yeah.
then you work on the next thing and it doesn't come for like a few years maybe or whatever. So yeah, I guess in a way, like I am happy about this single stuff and getting the attention for X amount of time around each song, because I have put a lot of effort and energy into the imagery, not just the music, for some of the stuff that's coming up. Um, I'm really excited. I think there's some things that are just not going to be expected from me at
Okay.
all. Yeah.
Awesome. Again, I mean, it seems like though you're enjoying kind of branching out though a little bit, doing the solo
I
stuff.
am, because I always have been a very like creatively colorful person, and I think uh, with the evolution of the band's music, people could see that was really me stretching the box as far
Yeah.
as it could go. Um, and then it got to a point where it's like you know, don't want to damage anything. So, but there wasn't like one sound to grip onto, which was probably something that was like a detriment sometimes. But that evolution was exciting for me, and also some other people like Yasho, I wrote a lot together with, and we both just needed avenues to create. So, um, you know, to do this and start this and finally like follow it through with the same amount of effort I've put behind my band,
Mhm.
it just feels like it's very liberating for who I am, because I need to express in a lot of different ways.
Awesome. Like I said, we get a couple different sides of you now, which is always cool to see from artists. And it's not like it's, a complete 180. You're still rocking. You're still,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just not as heavy. You're still out there. You're still rocking. So if people are like, oh, what's gonna be like? It's still gonna be rocking, which is great. Again, love what I hate. Gonna be on the art spotlight this upcoming Monday. Cobra. Before I let you go, I can't remember if I had you do this for me or not when I was when I was in Wisconsin, but I was asking bands
I
their
have no
favorite
idea.
complete albums of all time, their favorite no skip records. So that's kind of how I'm ending all my interviews with bands now, is those that maybe I haven't talked to either since I left Wisconsin for the first time, sharing their favorite no skip albums of all time, because it's been
Yeah.
all over the place and it's been wonderful to hear. And again, you're a full album person, so I figured let's hear some of yours.
I mean, definitely Rumors, Fleetwood Mac,
Okay, awesome.
and Painkiller. Um, I feel really bad because I can't remember the name of the album right now. I haven't listened since religiously since I was
Mhm.
probably 15, but one of the Distillers records, because I really, really love Brody Dahl. And she was the first woman that made me
Okay.
think, oh my God, a woman can be a rock star too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? God. Uh, this is not a good question for me actually, because I think I just listen to songs,
Okay.
you know? Yeah. I don't know like the name of all the records.
we've had a few people like that where they're like, I tell you one of the bands I like, because we've had some bands come in the studio and try to get the entire band involved. And the
Yeah.
guy's like, I'm gonna be terrible because I don't know album names. I'm like, dude, that's fine. If you just want to come on and jump on and just have fun with it for 5 seconds, that's perfectly fine. We've had everybody from like Dave Matthews to obviously bands like Metallica, and a lot of Alice in Chains, a lot of Soundgarden. So it's just fun asking, because everybody's influences are just a little bit different. That's been the most fun, I think, of this question.
Absolutely. And I feel like when I'm trying to say like album titles, then I'm like restricting like because the amount of stuff I listen to is so vast, you know?
Yeah.
And I can see the album covers like in my head. Like I can see an
Yep.
Audio Slave cover. I can see Soundgarden, you know. I can see even like Alanis Morissette. Oh, Jagged Little Pill. Like, you know, I can remember that title because
Yeah.
that was epic.
That was one of John Connolly of Seven Dust as well. That's what I tell a lot of people. Like, we do a '90s nooner every single day, and we had Alanis Morissette on there, and some guys like,
Oh,
really, you're
right
playing
on.
this on your rock station? And I'm like, if you want to argue with John Connolly of Seven Dust, and go ahead, because that Jagged Little Pill was on it was Favorite Fives, and it was one of his. He had like Master of Puppets, and then it was Jagged Little Pill by Alanis, and I was like, didn't expect that at all. Not
That's
at
really
all.
cool. I love
Yeah.
that. I think
So,
I wore down Rust in Peace pretty good.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So Kobra, again, we have Love What I Hate, the Artist Spotlight. This thing we're having Monday at 8:30. Where can people follow you on the socials? Obviously, Cobra and the Lotus is still a thing, but with your
Yeah.
solo project as well, where can people follow you on all the socials and stay up to date with everything?
It's just Kobra Paige. That's everything. I think YouTube is I am Kobra Paige.
Okay.
And that's because someone took my name several years ago and put soft porn videos up, and like
Oh
I can't get it back. I'm
oh
just
my
like,
God.
yeah. So when it came time to release this stuff, I'm like, well, shit. Like I didn't notice this person, you know, this whole time.
Oh my gosh. That's a first. That is a first. I've never ever had that as an answer. This is the first. So
Yeah.
wonderful. So if you type in Cobra Page and something comes up that you're like, it's not your OnlyFans. It's nothing like that.
Wasn't
She's
me.
not doing. Nope, it's not her. It's not her at all. There's nothing like that.
Only
So
fans. Oh my
yeah.
god. It's not those
So
kind of fans.
nope, not at all. Not at all. So
Yeah.
if you're on YouTube, I am Cobra Page. Or if you're just typing in Cobra Page, Love What I Hate, they can probably go right from there and find everything they need to. So Cobra, great catching up with you. Great to see you. Glad you're back in the scene and making new music. So appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time as well.